Hi, my name is Kalinda, and I have a question for you. Have you had a challenge that you have been trying to figure out how to fix? Or have you been in a situation that you really want to change? Or are you just wanting to be able to chase your dream and actually catch it? It's all of those reasons that I created the 411-page workbook called Pivot. And I called it Pivot from BS. It's not what you're thinking. It's actually belief systems. And so today I am going to do a video to help you get some key tools that can help you to pivot. Are you ready? Let's get started. Where do you start? That's the question that most people ask themselves when they're faced with a challenge. And it's a fair question because there is so much information out there on the internet. It is much easier when you are able to focus and do one thing at a time. And today we are going to look at a few different challenges that may pop up during that process. So, what happens when you've been working at something and it just isn't working and now you're frustrated? How do you get past that? Where do you begin when you're at your wits' end? We've all been there, right? How do you get motivated when you're lacking motivation? The I don't want to's. Anybody wake up with those in the morning? What do you do when stress is at an all-time high and funds are low? What do you do when you feel alone and out of ideas? And how do you connect when you are feeling disconnected? Those are all things that pop up on a journey from where you are to where you want to be. And we're going to address those. If you have any of those questions, you're in the right place. So here is what we are going to cover today. How to shift from being frustrated to productive, how to gain clarity so that you can make a plan, how to get momentum when you're experiencing burnout, how to relieve stress while you're on a budget, how to get support and ideas, and how to get reconnected with your passions and desires. Plus, I have a surprise gift for you that I'm going to be revealing at the very end, and it's worth $2,950. Stay tuned. So why would you listen to me? My name is Kalinda Trifo, and I worked in the corporate world for 25 years. In 2009, I was diagnosed with anxiety and panic disorder, and my world changed because I couldn't find any answers on how to feel better. It took me 2 years. I finally was able to beat anxiety naturally. And in that process, I became a certified reflexology therapist and teacher so that I could figure out how the body works together as a whole. I became a certified life and executive coach. I wrote a couple of books, and I have worked with some of the industry's best leaders on how to pivot. Beating anxiety disorder in 2012 wasn't for the faint of heart. It was one of the toughest battles that I ever had in my life. And the problem that I had discovered while I was going through that was a lot of what we're brought up to believe and what we're told, it's effective for getting what we want in society, but it's not overly effective in creating peace of mind. And in that journey, I found some amazing tools that were able to shift my mindset, and it has helped me to help thousands of people after that. So, as uncomfortable as that journey was, I'm super grateful for it. I did leave the corporate world to be able to do what I love from home at the age of 45, which was something that I never thought was ever going to be possible. I've taught over 100 students, and I have helped thousands of people pivot since I got started in 2010. So, how do I do that? Well, today I'm going to reveal the 5 pivot killers. Pivot killer number 1, focusing on the wrong thing. And I see it all the time. And it's not even our fault because the way that we expect things to work in theory doesn't always work when implemented. So, figuring out what really works and working on the tasks that you need to work on is critical. Pinching pennies, focused on the problem, and bleeding dollars, waiting for a solution is all part of that. Too much time is spent focused on the problem rather than finding the solution. One of my favorite sayings is always focus on the cause, not the symptom. Why? Because we are creatures of habit and we rely on what we know based on experience or guidance from people we trust. And fear keeps us doing the same thing. I always recommend saving decades and investing dollars so that you don't spend time or money. There's a big difference between spending and investing. And there isn't enough time for you to master all things. So how much time can you really save when you're hiring an expert? Which leads to pivot killer number 2, do it myself syndrome and done for you syndrome. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there are no magic bullets. You will have to do the work in order to succeed. However, there will also come a time that you will need to get some help because no one knows everything. And it's a balance to figure out when it is the right time to invest time to learn, when it's time to partner, and when it's time to leverage. Pivot killer number 3 is moving too fast. We all want things done yesterday. That isn't how things work the best. You want a solid foundation. For example, when you get a new idea that you want for a new career, it's important to treat it like a hobby until it can actually pay your bills. So make sure that when you are pivoting or when you are wanting to change, you do it logically, making sure that you have everything in place and whatever it is that you're going to do is going to be able to support you. Don't base extreme changes on a theory. You need some evidence, you need some support, and you need some proof that it's actually going to work. Pivot killer number 4 is moving too slow. No matter what you do, fear is going to show up when you're trying to make a change. Expect it, just don't let it stop you. You can waste years waiting. The questions to ask is, can you maintain your current lifestyle if that's what you want? Or is it going to get you the lifestyle that you need? Will you be happy with making the change that you're making? What have you planned for as a buffer to give you peace of mind? And is your fear rational, or is it just the fear of change? And understanding the answers to those questions should give you some confidence in making the decisions moving forward. Pivot killer number 5, not working on your mindset first. You can do everything right. Without the mindset, it doesn't work. You can do everything wrong. With the right mindset, it still has a way of working out anyway. It's the craziest thing to watch. And I've seen it happen hundreds and hundreds of times, because here's the kicker. To pivot, it requires you to make a decision with clarity and conviction with the mindset to actually support it. Fear, like I said, it's going to show up. And for something to really change, it means that you have to do something different. It will likely be uncomfortable. That creates fear. Just recognize it. And be prepared to get uncomfortable, because most people like to be comfortable. And that means that there is no change. So when you do things the same as you've always done, you're definitely going to get the same results. I have put together the pivot blueprint. The first step in the decision-making process that we see right here, which is the foundation to pivot, is think. And think is made up of 9 different categories. First, we have mindset. You have to have self-awareness. It's the key to making a change. Self-care is necessary for emotional, physical, and mental well-being. Thought patterns have to be detected, because those are the beliefs that determine your automatic reactions to different situations. The next category is feel, because emotion connected to memories in the past that cause heartache in the present, it can keep your life going on repeat. You can feel like you're on a hamster wheel. You can change scenery and it's got the same problem. We've all been there before. It's important to detect and release those things. We also have to figure out what belief systems are no longer serving us and release them, and so that we don't stay in the same pattern. And perspective, it's a powerful catalyst for change. So getting a new perspective on why you're doing what you're doing is critical because it instigates change. The next category that we focus on is experience. You get to choose what it is that you really want. You get to commit to making a plan, and you experience pivot by being consistent. So those are the blueprints. Simple, right? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean it's easy. And the reason I say that is because if you think about anybody that has ever made a New Year's resolution, that adrenaline can get you through the first week. And that, yeah, I'm going to do it. It can also get you through the first week, maybe 2 weeks. But what actually keeps you committed? If you've been trying to make a change, how long have you been trying to make it for? If you look back, you can see the future. So if you have been wanting to make a change and nothing's happening, what's stopping you? So right now, you actually have two options. You could order the book. It's a workbook and it keeps you on track every day. It's available on Amazon and can be delivered right to your door. Or you can work with me to help you pivot so that you can make the change that you really want. And again, in the class, I work with all three categories. So we go through all the mindset, we go through all the feeling, and we go through all the experience. And the last time I offered this course live to the public, I actually charged $3,000 US. It would make sense to charge more, but I'm not going to do that today. So how much is it going to actually cost you to work with me? What you're going to get access to is the full modules for Think. It's pre-recorded, so you don't have access to me live, but you do have access to all the modules self-paced, and it covers self-aware, self-care, thought patterns, emotion, release, perspective, choose, commit, and of course, pivot. Today, I'm not charging $6,000. I'm not even charging $3,000 like I used to. I'm not charging you $1,000 because I know that people right now are needing this course more than ever. For a limited time, I'm actually going to offer a $2,950 credit when you register for the course online using coupon code PIVOT2020. So that means that your investment is only going to be $49 Canadian. I'm not even going to charge US funds. It's $49 Canadian. And if you go a little bit lower on my website at CalindaTrifo.com/pivot, there's a button there that will take you to the class, and you register. You will get an email with the login and the password so that you have access to the modules, and you can get started at your own pace right away. So again, that website is www.CalindaTrifo.com/pivot. Make sure to use coupon code PIVOT2020 so that you can get access to the course for $49 Canadian. If you would have asked me a month ago, I wouldn't have believed that I would have done such a thing, but the world has changed and it's time to share a little excitement and joy, don't you think? And so again, the website that you can visit to get access to the 9 modules is www.CalindaTrifo.com/pivot. Make sure to use that coupon code PIVOT2020. So what's the catch? This is limited to 100 participants. Once the coupon code no longer works, if it does not give you a discount, it means that those spots have been filled. The first reason is I'm going to ask that you provide a testimonial once you go through the program to let me know how it's helped you. I would love to get your feedback. Reason number 2, COVID has taken its toll on the globe, and it's my way of bringing a little joy and creativity back into your world, as well as a little hope. And reason number 3, I've had to learn this stuff the hardest way possible, and it cost me well over $100,000 to do it. Reason number 4, this time I'm not offering the live class so you can work through the material at your own pace. Remember, once the coupon code has reached the limit, the course is going to go back to the regular price. To get your login information, all that you have to do, again, is visit www.colindatrifo.com/pivot and use that coupon code PIVOT2020. Thanks for attending today, and I wish you success, joy, peace, and most of all, confidence. Stay well.